course, one of the stars of Fiddler on the Roof from Melbourne currently. Jonathan Thurston, he played number 7 in all 3 matches last year. He plays against his club coach. Stephen Price has been there, done that. From the New Zealand Warriors, Brent Kite. He struck form at the right time. From the Manly Sea Eagles, the betting, Queensland the favourites. First time I can remember that in a long time with Sportsbet. Queensland $1.75. New South Wales $2 and blowing. Sean Hampstead does his 3rd Origin game. Refereed the 2 at the back end of 2004. New South Wales won one, Queensland won the other. State of Origin for 2006 is underway. The Blues are running from right to left. And Seven Asiva takes the first tackle of the new series. Queensland, with one of the newcomers slammed into the ground. It was Johnson, I fancy, from Queensland. In fact, it was David Stagg, with his hair cropped much shorter. Now Seven Asiva, one of the old heads who's got a big job to do in leading them, showing them the way. Follow me, this is what you do. Seven Asiva with 2 touches on the first 4 plays. To the 40-metre line then for Queensland, and they're met and forced back by a torrid New South Wales defence. Led there by Hindmarsh. Bowen gets a kick in. It wasn't a good one because one of his own teammates got in the road. Now, referee Hampstead has found a knock-on.
Straight back. Knock-on. Hit.
Well, Mark Gasnier is arguing against the decision. It was a dusty kick, plenty of pressure on the kicker. And Matt King and Mark Gasnier seem to get in each other's way. Mark Gasnier ruled to have propelled the ball forward.
Outside foot forward.
Hard to argue.
Just keep yourself straight, Queensland. Right, Blues, Queensland's got the feet. Just go down and stand it.
Right on the 40-metre line. New South Wales end of the ground. Thurston working the scrum. Lockyer at first. Second play is taken by Brent Tate. And Tate is taken by Tahu. There was a little groan went up from the crowd. They thought the arm might have come up a little bit. And Astor was in the tackle as well.
Dominant tackle!
Dominant tackle called again by the referee. 35 metres away from the line. It was Justin Hodges. Now Stephen Price. 20 in from the western side. 25 out from the New South Wales line. Thurston across for Lockyer. Lockyer turns it around. 25 metres out from the line now to a wide forward. It was the back rower, Dallas Johnson, as they go left again. And here's the light-stepping Bowen. Tries in the last 4 Origin matches. 10 metres out from the Blues line. A chance for Queensland. Lockyer's pass is a horror. Thurston made it look better than it was. The kick through and the recovery at the back there by Hodgson.
He did very well, Brett Hodgson. Got low to the ground when the defenders were coming through. Both Hodges and Stagg looking to take him back in goal. New South Wales work it out. 3rd tackle still inside their own 20.
That's Kite. Now Badira's away from Mason, and Mason runs it straight at Cameron Smith. 25 metres away now from the New South Wales line.
Some attention being administered out there to Luke O'Donnell. He's back in the attacking line now. The trainer just leaving as Anasta gets a big torpedo away.
Plenty of volume about it. Allowed to bounce down there by winger Bell and fullback Bowen. Bell comes out with it. And he's met there by the New South Wales number 17, Andrew Ryan, in the run on side. This is Inglis. 30 out from the Queensland line, Andrew sideline.
Yeah, 17 degrees for this Origin opener, and the playing surface a little slippery, Ray. Lots of interesting stats going into this clash. We know the last 2 years the openers have gone to Golden Point. In both those matches, though, the Blues failed to score a first half point.
Johnson from Melbourne. Oh, a good tackle by the Blues.
Blues, come on.
That really rattled him up. And the man up the front was O'Donnell. So a penalty goes to Queensland.
Get the hand on the ball, Willie. Knocked it out.
Hand on the ball. It's a rake.
And the first question about this Maroons outfit has been answered. Steve Bell will play on the right wing, which is the same as his right centre position with the Melbourne Storm. Here's the hit by the New South Wales players. Physical contact there, and Greg Inglis is going to play on the left wing, so he'll be opposite his teammate from the Melbourne Storm in Matt King.
One hands off now, let him up.
Now Stephen Price. 15 out from the New South Wales line, with the Queenslanders enjoying all of the territory at the moment. They've had 2 opportunities. This is the second to really get the job done. Thurston turning it back. Oh, Bowen! The ball didn't find him. It's finished up with the Blues. 12 metres away from their own line.
And it was Luke O'Donnell again in defence hitting Matt Bowen. He looked straight to the sideline. He is not 100% Luke O'Donnell, despite the fact he's come up with 2 bell ringers in a row. Here he comes across. Bowen had already lost the football. New South Wales again coming out of their own danger end through Anasta.
He keeps looking down at his right hand, O'Donnell. It might be the right thumb. In fact, I'm sure it's his thumb that is maybe dislocated. 17 for New South Wales. Making metres, Andrew Ryan. They're inside the 40-metre line. Badeiras to Anasta now. Drives the kick back down in the direction of Matt Bowen. Bowen then to the centre of the ground and put away 30 metres out by Hindmarsh. Leading then with Badeiras. Hodges then drifting across, and again another great tackle. And again it was O'Donnell. Price is with it. Well, O'Donnell is really pulling off some unbelievable tackles, some bell ringers, and we're sure he's got a problem with his right thumb.
L4, hands off now, let him up.
Sivanasiva this time, almost to the halfway line. Opening match of Origin 2006 for Harvey Norman. The kick from Bowen. High. And Growth. Growth goes up. He beats the tackle of Lockyer. Stagg from behind comes in with Hodges. They're 20 away from their own line, the Blues, with Tahu.
O'Donnell leaves the field, Ray. Confirmation that he's not right. Stephen Menzies into the action.
Hands off now, let him up.
6.5 minutes into the game.
There he goes, O'Donnell. Mason now. Again running at the smallest of the Queensland forwards. Smith, the number 9. Badeiras gets the ball to Hodgson, and Hodgson is tackled 40 metres away from the Blues line, from the Maroons line. Ball goes back to Anasta, and again he goes very, very high to Bowen, and Bowen safe under the pressure there of the high ball. Now he makes a great run down the right side, stepping in field, not held. Now he is. Bowen eventually tackled by Hodgson. Fullback on fullback. Ball is with Bell now, playing right side wing.
Bell turns off now, let him up.
To the halfway line for Smith to give to the second row forward for Queensland, Matthew Scott. One of the 7 newcomers in the side, newcomer coach. 2 on the New South Wales side, also on debut, and of course the coach as well. Now Thurston. Mason launched himself in the defence, and Hampstead is going to call somebody out here. It might be Mason, it might be Anasta.
That's twice as bad. You keep him down. It was high shot.
Yeah, it's really Mason that Sean Hampstead is unhappy with. Another penalty. As the ball comes up off the ball.
In Origin, you're going to penalise for that in Origin? Please. It's game 1. Let's not start there.
So Lockyer finding the line, 15 metres away from the Blues line. Hodges took the tap. Thurston over in the centre of the ground. Lockyer back into the middle for Sivanasiva.
Hands off now, let him go.
Petro Sivanasiva, 12 metres out, right in the middle. Badeiras was the tackler with Menzies. And now they go away for Johnson to be tackled from the Melbourne Storm. Back for Lockyer now. Forward got in the road. Thurston tries to step through, but the momentum had gone. Ryan was the tackler. Now for Lockyer again. Lovely ball out to Hodges. Hodges steps once and is grounded. 1 metre from the line. Play back for Bell. Now for Bowen. Bowen to Lockyer. Lockyer goes back to Thurston. Thurston goes wide. Tate can't take it. Blues come up with the ball. It's Gasnier over there on the far side. Getting the ball away. King down the right side. Floats the ball back on the inside for Finch. Don't tell me Finch is going to score. Yes, Brett Finch has scored. Good luck to the kid. He's come as the bolter to half-back in the side. Here's a break, 4-0 New South Wales. Simply amazing. Simply amazing. Brett Finch has opened the scoring for the night with a try for the Blues.
You want something to settle you down in a game of football, get first points. Brett Finch, he'll have a ball out there now. Queensland had looked very dangerous. Hodges had been brought down only a metre short, and Brent Tate couldn't take the cutout pass from Jonathan Thurston. What a great effort from Mark Gasnier, shrugged away a defender. Matt King throws it back over Brent Tate, who'd made a valiant attempt to make up for his mistake. And Brett Finch, jersey number 20 on his back. Who'd have thought it? 24 hours ago, he wasn't going to be here. 24 hours later, he's got the first 4-pointer of the night.
That's a try for the defence. And an indication too that Brent Tate, he's had very little football this year, and the pressure of Origin can cause mistakes. He came up with the error there, picked up by Gasnier. Great support play. The Blues have been on their own line a couple of times already early in this game, but their defence has looked strong, and their defence has actually come up with points on that occasion. They had a long way to run it, but they've got big, fast men out wide who can do that. Tremendous try.
Hodgson from the West Tigers, 20 out and 5 in from touch, and it's just away to the right of the uprights. Matthew John sideline.
What about that Ravis, the boy from Alabama, Brett Finch? Look, I was going to say he's had a bad preparation. He hasn't had a preparation at all. One thing about Finch, he needs to get off to a good start to play well. He's done that tonight. Good sign for the Blues.
How many times has it happened? Team A has got all the football, all the territory, applying all the pressure. Then they make a mistake and the others run 90 metres and score a try.
I saw Brett Finch training with the Roosters yesterday, playing Aussie rules at Wentworth Park. Tonight, here he is on the State of Origin stage, scoring the first try.
This is Kite.
Yeah, hands off now, let him up.
And that's a shot of Luke O'Donnell with some treatment or some examination going on with that right wrist, that right thumb.
Come on.
Willie Mason is 25 out from his own line. Badiris now for Andrew Ryan.
He'll throw hands up now, let him up.
And Ryan is held up top by Hodges and underneath by David Stagg. Now for Hindmarsh. And Hindmarsh is met by Johnson and Thurston.
Forward, Jonathan Thurston, hands
Steve
off.
Price involved in the tackle. They're outside their own 40-metre line. And Astor kicks from 41 out. The kick going down, making Bell and Bowen cover some territory to get to it. It's a well-placed kick by Anasta.
It's been a very good kicking game early on from Braith Anasta. He's put a couple up high, managed to find open spaces. That one rolling, putting pressure on the opposition. But Matt Bowen, some light stepping, has seen him ease the pressure on a couple of occasions. It will keep coming.
He's all right.
Good work by Price.
Hold, Phyllis, hold. Okay.
It was on Hodges that time. Oh, Stephen Price! He presented himself as a target, and Mason reeled off a beauty.
That's all right.
Now Smith, the dummy half.
All right, please, come on.
32 metres away. That's the shot that shows you exactly where they are. Thurston has to rake a kick down the ground, but it was a friendly bounce for Hodgson, and now for Growth.
And more trouble for New South Wales. Tamara Tahu has come to the sideline. Looks like a dislocated finger, put back in place as Finch finds Menzies out wide to the right.
Menzies then taken by Tate and by Inglis over on the far side of the ground. It was Inglis who was beaten by Gasnier, leading to Finch's try. Here's Kite.
He'll throw hands up now, let him up.
40-metre line, Blues end of the ground. Danny Badiris, Braith Anasta, Mason up the middle, running at Price, offloading to Ryan, to Anasta, now to Growth. And Growth is held by Bell. And also by Hodges. Now they're just outside the 20-metre line. Anasta, he runs to that line, and Stagg is there with Sivanasiva. Tackle 5 is gone. Badeiras then to the middle of the park. And off the boot of Brett Finch. Over towards Inglis. Up they go and down they come. It's with Thurston. And Thurston.
Knock on anyway, knock on.
There's a knock on.
Anyway.
Yeah, knock on against the Maroons here. Perfectly placed kick from Brett Finch coming down a yard out from the Queensland line. They leapt high. They're targeting the wingers, Inglis and Bell, both playing out of position. There's your knock on. Thurston in the offside position, but deemed to be within his in goal, therefore no penalty. But it'll be a scrum feed to the Blues, who are moving the ball a lot more side to side than the Maroons are daring to do. They're actually running the Maroons around here, turning them around with their kicking game, running them around with their passing game. Maroons are off the pace at the moment.
Gee, I did think it was a tough penalty against them.
Outside foot forward, down.
So New South Wales then in a very strong attacking position. The ball comes along the line. Tahu! He's pulled down 7 metres out from the corner. Playing it back to Parramatta teammate Growth, who stutters there for a couple of strides before Stagg and Hodges combine to put him down. Badeiras then looks at the blind side, counts the numbers, goes to the middle of the park. Anasta back for Hindmarsh. And Hindmarsh is held and able to get the ball away. Badeiras goes inside the 10, gets the ball away. That is Kite. And Brent Kite will play the ball.
They're very short on the left here, Queensland.
Badeiras goes to the right side for New South Wales, and Finch through to Hodgson. Quick hands. Gasnier for King. King has scored. Matty King has scored the second try. We'll take a break. It's 8-0 in favour of the Blues now.
The try scored by number 2 for the New South Wales Wizard Blues, Matt King. His 4th try in Origin football. Nice backline move by the New South Wales Wizard Blues. They now lead at 8 points to 0.
Welcome back to the Olympic Stadium, where the Blues have raced out with a 2-try lead. It's 8-0. Hodgson will attempt conversion of the second try scored by King. Gus Gould said they will light down that side. That's where they went.
And Brett Hodgson was able to attract 2 defenders there, and that gave them the overlap. Good quick hands. A great ball from Mark Gasnier to Matt King. And the meteoric rise continues for that young man. Went through to national honours last year. Got a hat-trick in the final game last series. And he joins Brett Finch on the try-scoring list tonight.
I can tell you that play there by the Blues was the exact play where Craig Gower got injured at training last night when he collided with Steve Menzies. And when you watch the vision again, it was Steve Menzies again running the decoy.
Here's Hodgson's kick, and again it's on the same flight path, waved away. 8-0 the score in favour of New South Wales. Andrew Voss sideline.
Yeah, Ray, 18 minutes in, you can see the first change for Queensland. Carl Webb out there. Gee, it's been busy on the New South Wales bench. The doctor, John Orchard, he was tending to Luke O'Donnell on the bench, trying to get the dislocated thumb back in, then got called away to tend to Tamana Tahu to get the finger back in, then had to go back to Luke O'Donnell. A lot of pain for both players.
So Lockyer restarts, and this is a very big kick. It's out on the full. It's a penalty back at the middle of the halfway to the Wizard Blues. Lockyer has just given it far too much. Braithen Astor will kick for Lyon, and he makes sure about it. 30 metres out from the line. Tap to be taken by Dan Badeiras. Just waiting for a ball. Stadium in perfect condition after it came under the scrutiny of some criticism or critiques in recent weeks.
All the way, Queensland, come on.
28 away from the line, centre of the ground. 2 tries to 0 in favour of the Blues. The ball is with Brett Finch. Till now, one of the stars. Got the first try. Badeiras. Now for Anasta, he crosses the 20, he gets it to 12 metres out. 12 away from the Queensland line again. Down the right side, they've been really punishing them. Here's Mason! And he puts it back, but it goes to ground. And it's advantage Queensland.
He actually threw the football back into David Stagg there, and fortunately for Queensland, it rebounded to a teammate. Stagg a little bit nonplussed out of that last incident. He's just in behind the ruck areas. Carl Webb gets his first touch. It's coming into the action.
Nasta and Ryan, the tacklers. 20-metre line for the Queenslanders as Smith tries to burrow his way out. He did well. He picked up 10 metres of ground. Now Sivan Asiva is out towards 40.
L5 and last.
The Blues bench. Craig Wing, the impact player, #1 utility player in the game. Brett Hodgson with the ball for the Blues. 32 metres out from his own line. Growth, a run for him. And Growth picked up by Carl Webb. Didn't quite make the horizontal. And Webb was there looking to punish if he could. Tahu to the halfway line now. 8-0, 2 conversions astray from Brett Hodgson from a difficult position. Finch away. Gasnier invites them in, but Lockyer makes the tackle. Gasnier pass. Was he tackled? Referee said no. Hindmarsh! 3 metres away from the Queensland line. He plays it back to his captain. Now for Finch. He's got Mason with him. Mason tramples over one, tramples over another. Big Willie Mason. He scores the 3rd try. Oh, a pulverising run. Willie Mason. At the 21st minute, the Blues' 3rd try.
Threaten the shit out of him.
What a run.
Well, they're running roughshod now, and it's epitomised best by the man with the football, Willie Mason. Just gets rid of 3 would-be defenders with consummate ease. Lovely ball from Brett Finch. Went outside, floated inside. Went through Cameron Smith originally. Thurston comes in from behind Bowen, no chance. He's still looking for players to defend.
It's all about size, isn't it? State of origin football. Queensland getting caught on the edges of the ruck. The inexperience in their wingers is being exposed out wide. Some smaller players unable to handle the bigger New South Wales forwards. Mason, Hindmarsh have all found. Ryan's found space. Hodgson has found space up the middle. Finch has got room to move. Queensland on the back foot. Debutants in the side behind the line have walked into a holocaust, and someone's got to lead them out of it.
Doesn't get much easier. Marco Murley coming on for Mason. Big congratulatory thump from the Bulldogs teammate, and Brett Hodgson. He'll get on the board with his boot with this one.
So the first conversion of the night. New South Wales leading Queensland after 23 minutes. 14-0. Andrew, sideline again.
And Ben Eichen with me on the sideline right now at 14-0, the Queenslanders. What's the advice, Ben? You've been in camp all week with them.
It's all about defence at the moment. They've got to start to make a stamp on this game, to swing the momentum with their defence. It's just not where it needs to be. If they start the pressure, Finch and Nasta, they can get back into this game.
So one thing's for sure, Lockyer will not be adventuring too close to that dead ball line. Here is Marco Mealy on the ball carry back. Nate Miles is on for Queensland as the ball is played, and Badeiras gives it away to Kite. Kite continues on in the game. Mason's gone for a break. What a stunning opening 20 minutes from Mason, and this man Ryan has suddenly found his form. Craig Gower, more than just an interested spectator. 40 metres out from the Blues line. 14-0 in favour of the home side. Finch, and he's taken before getting the ball away to Hindmarsh, who has to kick for touch, and he finds it 12 metres into Queensland's territory.
That's what Benny Eichen was talking about, getting up, putting pressure on the kickers. New South Wales have been able to dominate them territorially through the boot of Finch, and particularly Anasta. Their kicking game's been far more accurate, much better. That time Queensland got some pressure on. Hindmarsh had to kick it towards the sideline, and they're going to get the ball in pretty good position.
It was only on the 4th tackle. A bit surprising, and what a tough night for Craig Gower. As you can see, he's already had knee surgery. We'll keep him on the sideline for a couple more weeks. Mixed feelings, I guess. He'd love to be a part of this. Nate Miles, his first touch in Origin football, pulled down just short of halfway.
The man that Peter's talking about, Craig Gower. Had a luckless year. His misfortune has led to an amazing 24 hours for Brett Finch. Now down the left side goes Dallas Johnson. Just inside the 40-metre line, play over on the eastern side of the ground. Back to the middle for Thurston to go to Lockyer. Lockyer gets it away to Webb. The Cowboy plays the ball just outside the 30-metre line. Now it's away from Berrigan to Lockyer. Berrigan's offside. Hindmarsh knocked on in trying to recover.
So went forward, that's why.
It was bad luck for Nathan Hindmarsh. Good pressure from the Blues. And the difference between the two teams at the moment is that Queensland took 4 rucks before they had any movement of the ball. Here's the pressure from O'Mealy. Hindmarsh will come up with a little knock-on trying for the grab. It took Queensland 4 rucks before they spread the ball. New South Wales are going on tackles 2, 4 and sometimes 6.
Here they come down the blind side. Well, that might be a penalty. Was Hodges taken without the football? Obviously the answer to that is no. And it's gone into touch for another scrum to pack down.
Well, it's a planned scrum move there where they try and create an overlap on the outside. Sean Berrigan attracted 2 in Ryan and Anasta. That brought Eric Growth in, but Growth, he reacted very well. He drifted back to his man and took Hodges out before they could establish the overlap. Here's Growth again getting involved from the scrum win.
To the 20-metre line, his own end of the ground. Sivanasiva back to the benches. Gaznia, he's had a couple of victories down that right side, both times at the expense of young Greg Inglis. Now O'Mealy, oh, that was a big clash of bodies between he and Canterbury teammate Nate Miles. Now Badiris getting the ball away without looking, which he doesn't have to, he's that damn good. It was Simpson who was on for New South Wales who played it. Now Anasta clears it, and it's going down for an easy mark back there for Inglis.
Let him go now.
Bowen a dummy half. Across for Brent Tate. And there's a bad pass. We've seen plenty of them so far. And Hodges getting bad ball, but still making ground. Tremendous run by Hodges. Bell comes up on the inside, but Hindmarsh cuts him down. 22 metres away from the Blues line. It's gone away from Berrigan to Lockyer, who turns it back to Berrigan. Berrigan now heads off towards the middle of the ground. He stands in the tackle of Badiris, gives it away to Thurston. Thurston shows it a couple of times before Menzies puts him away. Smith onto Price. Price up inside the Blues 10-metre line. He's a couple of metres out now. Steve Price. Back for Smith, and Smith goes behind Johnson, goes to Thurston. Thurston's pass is bad. Lockyer gets a ball away that bounces out to Hodges. Hodges off the right foot, steps back inside, went behind one of his own players. Miles has lost the ball. It went backwards, said Hampstead. So Berrigan is dummy half. Thurston calls it to the right. Thurston puts a kick in. Came off the legs of a New South Welshman who didn't play at the ball.
Scrum, not played at.
Came off Braith and Aston, not played at is the call.
Yeah, this will be a scrum feed to the Blues. They look disjointed, the Maroons. Even when they've had ball in good possession, too many passes hitting the ground, not crisp enough. Justin Hodge has been in good form with the Broncos this year. Big right foot step. That's a warning again to Tamana Tahu of just the size of that step and the power in his running. He can make line breaks from anywhere. Nathan Hindmarsh, brilliant cover defence.
We were told to expect some positional changes during the course of the evening, and that has happened with Melbourne Ninga now putting Greg Inglis back to fullback. Matt Bowen playing on the left wing. Even though he's on the left wing, you'll see him around the dummy half area trying to expose some of the bigger men in the New South Wales defence.
Just go down here, just go in straight, put your arm over for a start, and just go down and hold the mark. And just stand there. Right, Brett. Down.
The Blues in front by 14 points to 0 then. And 28 minutes of the game gone. Play just inside the 20-metre line. New South Wales end, play by Gaznia. The pass from dummy half had to be hurried. That of Hodgson, it went back, and Hindmarsh had to go back and clean up back inside his own 10-metre line.
Came off the hand of Greg Inglis there, the referee opting not to restart the tackle count.
Now O'Mealy is buckled over, a 3-man tackle from the Maroons.
It's a good name for Nathan Hindmarsh, the clean-up man, isn't he? He's the cleaner. He cleans up drop balls, he cleans up line breaks. Everything that's got to be done, he does it.
It's interesting to watch Badiris. I mentioned just a few moments ago, he passes without looking where he's passing it, but he just knows they are there. The 14 is about to come into the game, Craig Wing. As Anasta kicks high and puts it again in a position where the winger and or the fullback have to do some work. It's all time consuming, and it lets the defenders down the ground to line up Brent Tate back on his own 30-metre line. O'Mealy was there, Menzies was there. So was Simpson from Newcastle. Now Carl Webb out to the 40-metre line.
Elter, hands off now, let him up.
Captain has gone off, Badiris, so Craig Wing will be the dummy half. Oh, Johnson! Dallas Johnson was hit by Menzies.
The Beaver.
Oh. Now it is with Miles.
L4, hands off now, let him up.
This was the hit from Menzies on Dallas Johnson from the store.
He's the oldest man on show tonight, Steve Menzies, but he's still playing with the enthusiasm of a young man.
Berrigan, Smith, left foot kick, putting some weight on it. Hodgson forced to play at the ball, brings it out.
Surrender!
Might have been a clash of Queensland heads. They're both okay. Now King, who got the second try for the Blues.
L2, hands off now,
Finch got the first, King got the second. Mason got number 3. Mason left carnage behind him in a sheer strength, a show of strength, size and speed. Too big, too tough, too fast.
He's just picked up an interchange card too, big Willie Mason. We're going to see him back before the half-time, which is a great replacement. He can come on and do it all again.
Menzies now. State of Origin 1 for Harvey Norman, the series. Played by Menzies. Right foot kick from Brett Finch. And urgently Bowen comes across, but the ball bounces again. And again, the Blues have got time to come down the ground. So Queensland start from back on their own 20-metre line.
And it was a real show of faith from Queensland selectors to stay with the incumbent fullback in Matt Bowen. Don't forget that Carmichael Hunt, the Australian fullback, could not make the 17-man squad.
Bell played it. Thurston gave it. Miles runs it. And he's out to the 40-metre line where Menzies went low. Hindmarsh went over the top. And Smith goes up the side of the ruck, hoping to find an opening to put Webb through, but Webb is well contained by Wing in 14. Simpson was there, so was Hindmarsh. Just put Hindmarsh in all the tackles. I won't even call him, just put him down. Here's Price. 38 metres away from the New South Wales line. Queensland yet to score any points. They're down 14-0. And the custodian, the rag doll, Hodgson, tackled 10 metres out from his line. King, who's making a habit of scoring Origin tries. 3 in game 3 last year. Already 1 tonight. Long ball for Wing. Now for Anasta. Then it's out to Tahu. Speed to Burn. And he's gone into touch. Good cover by the Manly centre 3/4, Stephen Bell.
He did well here. He backed off nicely, allowed Tahu to get on the outside of him. Said, well, if you want to try me, go round me. But he was quick enough to come across in cover defence. Just herded him to the outside. He didn't let Tahu run one-on-one with Darren Lockyer. What he did was he went infield and said to Tahu, go around me. Don't go and try go through me 5'8". Go around me. Tahu took the invitation and ended up over the sideline.
Maroons now with a chance. Oh! They've made another mistake, and Gaznia, he may well hurt them again. 30-metre line. He's pulled down over there by Inglis. And now Mason is back on. They have barely recovered from his previous onslaught. And now he's back on and getting a penalty.
Get the ball out.
Ball has been raked by the Queenslanders.
And they're in the type of mood to take a tap here. They're looking for more points before halftime. Mason takes it himself. Nathan Hindmarsh, a rare break for this man who's just come back out to terrorise.
So they're 3 metres away from the line. That's it that you can see. Back for Finch. Now for Anasta. The Roosters half and 5'8". They're playing well. Anasta an upright tackle. Well, it was. It's not now. Put down by Berrigan. Now for Ryan. And Andrew Ryan will play the ball 2 metres out from the line. Blues running towards the northern end of the Olympic Stadium as it goes from Wing. It's out to Anasta. Inside for Simpson to knock on.
Look at the body language here on the Queenslanders. Fellas doubled over, fellas down on their haunches. They're tired. They're strained. They're stressed. They need some leadership. Darren Lockyer has got to stand up here. He put his centre Brent Tate under enormous pressure with that last pass. Tate put down another one, led to Gasnier streaking away. They need someone talking them up. I can't see any talk in this Queensland side at the moment.
They'll be happy to get to the break, but the one thing they're also is in contention. 14 is not insurmountable. It is not a big lead in the modern game. And they have got plenty of potency out there if they can get their game together. But the one thing they cannot do before half-time is concede more points. Nate Miles tries to step inside to beat a tackle. Can't beat O'Mealy around the legs.
Second tackle, let's go to the sideline. Andrew Voss again.
Well, exactly, Ray, what Peter was saying about Queensland. What they've got to do is think back to last year, what New South Wales did to them. Queensland led the opening game last year 19-0. It took New South Wales 52 minutes to score their first points. Then they got in the match. Then they're able to go on from there.
Sivanasiva is with the ball just outside the 40-metre line. Miles up to halfway now. Taken down by Ryan. Bulldog on Bulldog. Anasta, a former dog, who took on the wings of the Roosters as the ball is kicked down the ground by Bowen. Hodgson proving safe, and then they rattle him up and put him down heavily. Bowen it was. They've come face to face a couple of times, haven't they, the number ones? Growth shoveling one away, running away from another. 30 metres out. Good work by the New South Wales winger. Hodgson gets it on. Wingers with the ball, but Lockyer's got him.
All the way, Queensland, come on.
As the Queensland bench look just a little bit restless, and why would they not be? Webb off the field. Mason. On him is Smith. And also Thurston. 12 metres into Queensland territory. Craig Wing. Brett Finch. And up it goes again off the boot of Finch. Very, very high. And Bowen goes after it. Bowen comes down with the ball. Brilliant take by Bowen. And he's tackled fly short of halfway. What an amazing take. Now Lockyer goes over halfway. Surely there must be some inspiration from what Bowen just did. Berrigan.
Hands off now, let him up.
42 metres away from the Blues line. Just over 3 minutes to go as Sivanasiva takes it up towards the 30-metre line. Half-time, fast approaching. Smith, short ball. Miles, tackle from Tahu. Gee, there's been some magnificent tackles out there. Now from Smith. Behind Sivanasiva for Thurston to go to Lockyer. Lockyer back on the inside for Inglis. 5 tackles gone. Lockyer slow to get up. Now from Smith, it's gone to Thurston. Thurston taken down.
Change over.
And Hampstead has ordered changeover.
He took the odds to it there, Jonathan Thurston. There's Darren Lockyer down in back play. Thurston on the last play. Feigned to kick and then tried to run the ball. Trying to pull a rabbit out of his hat. A better set of 6 from Queensland. Brought about by better kick reception and a kick return from Matty Bowen. He split the line that time, got them on the front foot.
5 changes the Blues and 4 changes the Maroons. As O'Mealy gets away from Miles. He couldn't advance the ball any further with Sivanasiva and Johnson making the tackle. So 14-0.
All the way, Rains, come on.
Seems almost certain to be the half-time score with the captain Badiris. He's watching on at the moment. He doesn't like to be replaced, Danny Badiris. He'd rather play the entire game, but with Craig Wing on your bench, you've just got to bring him into the game at the back end of the halves. At the very least, here's Bell. Prolific try scorer for Manly. Hodges has made one of the few breaks made by Queensland in the first 40 minutes. But it's been a very sloppy half, particularly, well, people are talking about defence, but their attack has been disjointed. Misdirected passes, taking the impetus out of the attack at all times. And now Sivanasiva will play the ball. Just outside the 30, it's with Thurston, and he keeps it on the ground. The bounce is good. Bell goes down the right side. And he's covered up and put into touch. Growth and Hodgson, they converged like missiles. Just as Queensland looked likely to score on half-time, the kick was beautiful, it was friendly, and growth it was, more than Hodgson. Rounded him up, Stephen Bell. Ball was left in field, but then it came off a player who did not play at it. 30 seconds to go to the half-time break. Tries 3 in all for the Blues. Finch at the 10th, King at the 17th, Mason at the 21st. 14-0, 1 conversion for Brett Hodgson. The 2 he missed from over on the eastern touchline. The Blues then just beyond their own 10-metre line. Ball taken away by Tahu. And the hooter in the background. That's the end of the first half. Dominating the New South Wales Wizard Blues. 14-0 they lead.
All one-way traffic after the first 5 minutes. And New South Wales lead 14-0 at the break. The line breaks go their way 3-1. The missed tackles 2-1 against Queensland. That is a problem. 12 errors made between the sides. Both teams have had the same amount of time in possession. What do we make of the first 40 minutes, Andrew?
I thought New South Wales forwards were so dominant, but not only that, their dummy half running, their big wingers just got them on the go forward, and Brett Finch and Braithen Astor, absolutely outstanding.
Luke O'Donnell leaving the field after some big hits early in the contest, and then the first try came from a Queensland mistake.
Yeah, Pete, the Queensland forwards haven't dominated, and the backs are throwing willy-nilly passes. Really, a lot of these passes have gone to ground. New South Wales took full advantage of this one. It was a great move, great breakaway there by Gaznia, and Brett Finch, well done to him, backing up to score that try. Yeah, he copped some criticism, Brett Finch, but never about his enthusiasm or getting involved in the game. And Gus, you pointed out how short they were down that side, and they executed it very well.
Not only short, mate, they've got players playing out of position. Greg Inglis didn't know whether to come up, stay back, and it was just too easy for them. And Big Willie Mason, big holes around the middle of the ruck as forwards start to tire, and some of the smaller men can't tackle their bigger opponents.
Well, that was 3 tries in the first 21 minutes, and Stephen Menzies keeps on keeping on. An absolute super shot there. He really demanded to be selected in this 17, did Stephen Menzies, with his form for Manly. And Matt Bowen, he's had a mixed night. This was one of his better moments.
Yeah, I saw a couple of things late in that first half, which might suggest that Queensland can come back into it. There was that break there by Bowen. On this, a near try, Stephen Bell, there was support back on the inside, but he didn't see it and, of course, went out.
OK, we'll quickly put your coach's cap on. Paul, what would Mal Meninga be saying to his charges?
Well, first of all, they've got to fix their defence, Pete. Their tackling's been disgraceful. 18 misses. I reckon there's been more than that. They're just the big fellas. They can't handle them. They need to fix that up, and their forwards need to go straight up the guts and take them on, give the backs a bit of room, and also the backs need a bit of depth.
Now, some nice interchanges from Graham Murray. We've seen Nathan Hindmarsh and Danny Medeiros come off the field. They're 80-minute players, but that keeps their impact going for when they come back on their second stint.
You've got that luxury with impact players on the bench that you can actually respond to what's happening on the field. He's made strategic replacements, and that's terrific. I think it's a kicking game of the 2 games that leaves a lot to be desired, especially for the Queensland. Both sides have been kicked 11 times, and courtesy of the Caltex Vortex Try Tracker, we can see the New South Wales kicks here, long and to the edges, long kicks to the edges of the field, targeting the inexperience of Inglis and Bell, who's playing out of possession. There's real purpose about this, and when you look at the length of their kicks, you can see that both Anasta and Finch have got time to kick the ball and put the ball where they want it. Look at that, nice long raking kicks, landing down in between Bowen and his inexperienced wingers and really targeting them. Now, if you compare that with the 11 kicks of the Queensland side in the first half, it looks like there's no rhyme or reason to their play. They're waiting till late in the tackle count. There's little kicks here, little kicks to the right, little kicks to the left, maybe one across this way. They're kicking from deep in their own territory, from out near halfway, and really, when you compare that to what New South Wales have done with their 11 kicks, other than the last grubber kick by Thurston at the back end there where Bill nearly scores, they haven't been able to dominate field position. Look at that, it's a mishmash, it's all over the place. Short kicks, nothing really that's turning New South Wales around.
Andrew, I know that you've paid special attention to the number 7 and the number 6 for New South Wales. I think the Anasta kicking game, the long kicking game has been superb. And Finch is giving you what you expect from Brett Finch. Plenty of involvement and a lot of energy in his play. 2
of the tries he set up, Pete. I especially like the one from Willie Mason. It was a classic halfback's play. He got the ball, he looked in, I'm going to pass in. The last moment he looked out and got Willie Mason one-on-one. It was a beautiful try.
There's Graham Murray just going through his instructions. Mal Meninga on the other side. Both new coaches this year. A lot of work for Queensland to do. They trail 14-0 at the break. But as Andrew Voss pointed out, Queensland led 19-0 last year in game 1. That went to extra time.
As Queensland come out to a scoreboard of 14 points to 0 down. 3 tries. Finch, King and Mason. 1 conversion for Hodgson. For the records, Queensland in the 75 games played have come from behind at half-time 9 times to win. In 1981, in the standalone game, they did come from well back and got the prize. Benny Eichen is down there. Yes, Ben?
Well, Mel, where do we need to improve in the second half, mate?
Well, let's go complete our sets, Benny. We're just going to get a good kick away and obviously a good field position. So it's a pretty simple game. That's what we need to achieve.
Can we win this game?
Mate, we're still pretty confident. So we're only 14-0 down, so we'll be right, mate.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah, when the big fella agrees to speak, you go to him immediately. Yeah, in 81, in that standalone game, they trailed 15-0 and then 15-5 at half-time, and they came home over the top to win 22-15.
I'd rather forget that game, Ray. We were robbed. Surprised we didn't get beaten by more, actually, as New South Wales come out.
I'm sorry, it wasn't meant to be personal.
Nah, good on you, mate. Yeah, appreciate that. They'll have been disappointed they had to go in the sheds at half-time. Things were rolling along nicely for the New South Wales team. Matt King had a very strong first half. And Stephen Menzies, 32 years of age, an inspiration to all young players taking up rugby league. Great player on the field and an absolute gentleman off.
Stephen Price started the game. Petro Sivanasiva. Both players out there for the resumption of play. Brett Hodgson has done his job back as custodian for New South Wales. Gamely, full of anticipation. Well, Lockyer kicks off and then slips over. And he does a dipsy doodle as O'Mealy brings the first play of the second half out just inside the 20-metre line. He was met and pulled down by Stephen Price and Petro Sivanasiva. Here is Simpson now. 25 away from the Blues line. Opening set of the second half, and Wing goes back to Mason, and every time he handles the ball, he makes an indentation. He really is draining them with his runs. And here's his Canterbury teammate, Mark O'Mealy, to the 40-metre line. Played back for Wing to go to the left for Anasta to again drive it down. In between the fullback and the winger, and the fullback knocks on. The Blues have got the chance early. Growth over on the far side. Another mistake from Greg Inglis. Now Anasta inside the 10. Went back to Mason. He's the go-to player. And Mason is tackled. 5 metres out from the line. The worst possible start for Queensland. Finch back now from Hodgson to Gaznia. Gaznia looking to unload. Hodgson is there to support. 10 metres out, and he's put away. Tackler was Miles. Wing to the right for Gaznia. Gaznia, little ball for Menzies. Menzies back on the inside for Simpson. Simpson takes the tackle, gives it to Wing. Ball goes floating. Standing in the tackle, Mason. Then the ball is shot away. It's gone over to Anasta. He puts a kick in. Came off Queensland. And dived on by Sean Berrigan.
Well, it's nearly a game of touch football. They're just offloading at will. Now they've turned it over again, the Maroons. Blues
Here's a
on
chance.
the attack.
Eric Grove down the left side. Mistake by Hodges. 11 metres out from the Queensland line. From Wing to Finch, and now to Mason again. Mason runs at Sivanasiva. He can't put him away. The ball is with Tahu, and Tahu gets rid of one. But he's pulled down 15 out from the line. Wing for Finch. Finch sees a gap, looks back on the inside. Simpson was there, but he couldn't get the ball to him. Wing to the right for Anasta. Anasta steps off his right foot and then tries to burrow through. And eventually they turn an upright tackle into a more conventional one, with Anasta getting up off his back Wing for Findo O'Mealy, and then back for Finch, and Finch goes back to Hodgson.
L5 and last.
And that was well read over there by Hodges. 5 tackles gone for the Blues. Now Wing puts a little kick into the in goal. And that's a bad kick. That's a bad kick.
Well, you can hear the sigh of relief from Queensland up here in the commentary box. And that flurry of play was a result of the illustration of just the pressure of Origin football. Greg Inglis for Melbourne has been picking them up off his bootlaces. He's got 9 tries in 9 games. Has not looked like making a mistake. Put him into an Origin game that bounces off the chest.
Back it up, fellas, hold.
So Queensland 40 metres out, 50 metres out from their own line now. Played by Berrigan it was, and now Smith. And just a couple of simple plays has taken them down. 30 metres away from the Blues line for Thurston. A long ball out to Lockyer. Now they're putting a bit of space in their work. Tate gets it away. Bowen is with it. Good tackle one-on-one from Steve Menzies. Tate for Lockyer. Lockyer's got Miles on his right. On his left is Tate. This man. Tate shows it. Puts a kick in. New South Wales' King has got the ball. And King is put down heavily.
Darren Lockyer made blood bend, mate. You got blood over your eye.
Darren Lockyer trying to run away from the referee there. He heard the referee say you've got to go to the blood bin. He didn't want to go off. He sprinted off in the other direction. But a much better set of 6 there from Queensland. Some good dummy half running, got them on the go forward, gave Lockyer a little bit of space. It was matched with good defence, but that's what they've got to do. They've got to bend the Blues back.
Here's O'Mealy now. Rolling it out to the 20-metre line. Blues running towards the southern end in the second half. Channel 9's live coverage of the first State of Origin game from the Olympic Stadium here in Sydney. Wing with some valuable metres. 7 metres from halfway now. As the ball comes back for Nasta, and he again sends it down. This time Inglis with not quite as much work to do. He's playing at full back now, and he falls over at the face of the defence.
That was smart work by Nasta. He got Inglis to drop the last one, so he kicked that one straight to him again and said, remember this, have another go. Inglis was up to it that time. Good boy.
Carlton mid-man of the match. The details on your screen. 1902 559 189 or SMS 19959 189.
Not easy to say. It's Carlton mid-man of the match. Just over half an hour before competition closes. There's Nate Miles. He's done well in this game off the bench. Plays a football Thurston now. Goes to his outside men.
Cross now for Hodges. Hodges! Oh, that's a magnificent piece of play, even though it has gone asunder.
Queensland feed. Touched by New South Wales.
Good work by Hodges. He's not just a stepper. If you take him lightly, he has got good speed. Doesn't always explode like this, but he got on the outside of growth. He's got that big fend. And he's able to get it back in field, although his foot touched the line. That should be a New South Wales feed. The touch here was too far away. He was only 3 feet away. Let off here for Queensland. Can they turn it into points?
Just go down. Go down. Right.
So Thurston, away it comes for Brent Tate. Lockyer standing back and away to the left. Just having a look at it, summing it up. Now he's drifting over to the right. They go ahead with Nate Miles.
L2, hands off now, let him up.
Banged into the ground, 7 metres out from the line. Smith is the dummy half. Sivanasiva, a carry up to the line, almost over. And Petro will play the ball. Smith, back now for Lockyer. Lockyer, back into the middle. Picking up Inglis, and Inglis is put away. Smith now looking towards the right, and that's where it goes to Lockyer. Lockyer holding it back, getting it to Johnson. Johnson tries to put himself through the defence, but it clamps him about 7 metres out from the corner post. Now for Lockyer again, he puts a kick in, and it's fielded in there by Brett Finch, and then he gets to the ground as quick as he can. Good play by the number 20 or the number 7.
No self-preservation there from Brett Finch. That was a huge play. Queensland looking to maintain some pressure, which they've been unable to do through this contest. But Finch not only gathered the football, but got back in the field of play. We've got to start seeing more of Thurston. Too much going to Darren Lockyer to get them out of trouble.
So Anasta is with the ball. He's taken down by Justin Hodges over there on the 20-metre line. It's one of the reasons the Brisbane Broncos have been quite so successful this year. I do believe they've... Oh, look at Mason. Look at Mason. The ball comes out. This might be a penalty. No. It's play on according to Hampstead. Now it's Thurston. Queensland going back to the New South Wales 30-metre line. Broncos, they don't always go to Lockyer like once upon a time they might have. They've got alternatives. But tonight it seems to always be going to the number 6. Ball being played by Scott now from the Cowboys. Now for Steve Price. Just as he always does, he thunders ahead. Taking defencemen into the ground with him. Now wide for Johnson. Johnson to Thurston. Thurston to Lockyer. Lockyer lets one go. Flick passes back for Bowen. Bowen not held. Now he is by wing. 15 out from the Blues line. Centre of the ground. Berrigan. Lockyer. Lockyer back for Johnson. Ball to ground. Blues ball. And the big bloke's got it. Mason.
All the way. Come on, fellas. Come on.
Andrew, sideline.
Yeah, worth noting as we watch this play unfold for the Blues coming out of trouble. They are down a man on this bench in this second half. Both teams at the moment have used 5 interchanges, but Luke O'Donnell, the message from the New South Wales camp, he won't be used unless absolutely necessary. They do fear a fracture in the thumb.
L2, hands off now, let him up.
Hudson,
come on.
14-0. 2 of those points belonging to him. Ryan, tackled by Thurston.
And there is Luke O'Donnell. He had an explosive opening to this game. Scary as to how well he'd tackle if he had 2 good hands.
Come on,
Simpson.
come on.
Finch. Keeping it just above ground level. Cutting across the top of the surface, and Inglis, who's had an unhappy night. Tackled by Menzies and Finch.
Good tackle there by Steve Menzies, and it shows the benefit of having starters on your bench. Luke O'Donnell went off after 6 or 7 minutes, and you've got a starter, a regular 80-minute player in Steve Menzies to come into the fray. If you've got interchange players on the bench, you're in all sorts of trouble. Steve Menzies gives you a luxury.
Bell will play the ball to Bowen. Bowen onto Thurston. Thurston giving a pass to Matthew Scott, who I suggest wasn't in the script. That's not his caper coming off a standing start. Sivan Asiba taken down. Craig Gower with wife. Amanda, isn't it? As the ball is kicked down towards the goal mouth. And Hodgson links up with Growth. It's been very good, Growth.
One ends off now, let him go.
His dad to be proud of him.
Yeah, the first father and son combination to represent the Blues. Eric Senior.
Hands off now, let him up.
One of the great wingers. Maybe that 26-year-old starting to really follow in the footsteps.
Makamili, ball away for Andrew Ryan. Thurston makes the tackle.
He's been good, O'Mealy, hasn't he? He just bumps them out of the way and offloads, makes them tackle again. That's really draining.
Here's Growth again. And Thurston is saying he's lost the ball, sir. It's a one-on-one tackle from Hodges. And then Growth wasn't happy. They're exchanging blows over there. They're coming in from all over the park now.
Well, I think you'll find it'll go against Eric Growth, who was dismayed that the ball had been taken off him, and he did throw the first punch.
Yeah. Who's the other player? Eric Growth and who?
And 3.
Steve, Justin Hodges. Justin Hodges.
I don't think Justin Hodges has got anything to answer for here.
Eric Grove.
He can only react to what happened to him.
Eric Grove.
And again, Eric, who refuses to go across.
Eric Grove.
Eric's forgotten his name. It's the 8th time they've called him.
He's one of the most mild-mannered players in the game, Eric Growth.
That's the 9th time they've called him. Now he comes.
Is anybody there called Eric Growth?
He is incredibly strong.
Call out his number.
But it takes plenty to rile him.
Justin Hodges.
His rights needed to be defended.
This is what happened. Growth inspired what you just saw, though, with a push.
All right, don't retaliate, just let me referee the game. That's silly. All he does now is give a penalty away. It's not on, right? No way.
Yeah, they got it right. They got it right.
He had one cocked, Justin. Derek said, well, hang on. You're ready to go. I better get one in first.
So Queensland, 30 metres away from the line with Sivanasiva taking it up towards the 20. Good metres. Hindmarsh, the tackler, the chief tackler.
And a good chance for the Maroons. They should be fired up there. A little bit of fisticuffs.
Berrigan. 15, Webb about to come back into the game. He's been here before as Price gets it back. Thurston gets it on. Lockyer gives it away. Picked up by Inglis. Inglis for the corner. Inglis, I think, has scored. Sean Hampstead will go to the video referee, Graham West. This is close. They look confident, the Maroons.
He's killed the moment here, the referee. What a great take by Greg Inglis, who's had it pretty tough at the other end of the field. But the sheer talent here comes to the fore. Gaznia tries to knock it loose, the big grip on the ball. No problem.
We don't need to go upstairs anymore.
That's a Queensland try.
Good boy.
Yeah, good boy. 100% right, Rabbits.
Youngest player to play Origin since Ben Aiken, who was the youngest. And he's had a horror night, but gee, that's great to see.
Well, that's why he's in the side. That kind of ability, as Phil Gould pointed out, it's a great take. It was that speed. It was a difficult one. He's just 19. He will play a lot more games in the maroon jersey. Don't worry about that. This will be a green light their way. And the obvious was that they had to score first points in this game. They've done it.
It's a try. Queensland on the board.
The try scored by that man on screen, number 2 for the Queensland side, Greg Inglis. And the New South Wales Blues now lead 14 points to 4. Queensland with a kick to come.
So there's Greg Inglis, the 19-year-old, who scored the try, turning his fortunes around. Sivanasiva goes off. Has he turned around the chances of Queensland in this opening match for 2006? Well, certainly in the right direction they go.
One of the things Graham Murray would have stressed to his side is that they will keep coming at you. Don't worry about the scoreboard. They have a history of doing it. It won't be any different tonight. Jonathan Thurston, the big loop, straight over.
Great kick by Thurston. It's 14-6 now. Margin down to 8. Bossy sideline.
Here we go, folks. Strap yourself in. Same as game 1 last year. Queensland led 19-0. New South Wales get their first try, 52nd minute. Tonight it's Queensland to do it. Matty Johns, what's your impressions of the Maroons right now?
You know, when they named their side, they had Cameron Smith, Matty Bowen and Jonathan Thurston on the side. I feared for New South Wales. I thought the style they played would be very direct, straight and fast with their little men in the middle of the park. Tonight they've played away from their strengths to a certain extent. They've gone 2 passes and played 2 sideways. If they revert to those little men now and play straight and fast, we could be in trouble.
Queensland then with Carl Webb bullocking his way across the 20-metre line. When you think about it, they really couldn't have played any worse than they played in the opening 40 minutes. Admittedly, the Blues played well, but Queensland could not have played more nervously.
No, you're right, Ray, and that's funnily enough, that's one of the advantages they had going into the break. The coach being able to say, look, you couldn't have done any worse. You only trailed by 14. That is nothing in this game. We are well in the contest with so much better play coming our way in the next 40. This kick just taken by Brett Hodgson, and he does well to stay in. Does amazingly well to stay in.
Gee, if that third player in, Dallas Johnson, isn't regarded as a flop, I haven't seen a flop.
Dominant tackle!
15 metres away from the New South Wales line. 6 changes has been made now, or 6 changes have been made by Mal Meninga, as Finch gives the ball away to Hindmarsh.
They look more aggressive now. The Maroons are actually sprinting up in defence, trying to put some pressure on the spread from the Blues.
Andrew Ryan bumping away from Thurston, but Smith is there to hold him together with Scott. 30 metres out from the Blues line. Badiris back in the game, and Wing stays on the park as well, and then Badiris makes a run A run of some 10 metres up to within 8 metres of halfway. Down the centre corridor they're going as Anasta puts a kick in. Down, bouncing. Bowen has a habit of letting them bounce, even when he is in a position to catch them. Now Inglis back on the 20-metre line, his own end of the ground. Played it back to Bowen. Bowen got the ball away to Tate. Tate then comes to Wing, tries to circle him. But Anasta with Wing make the tackle 30 metres away from the Queensland line. Queensland trailing 14-6 now in the opening game of the 2006 series for Harvey Norman, the Origin. Game 76 as Webb runs it up towards halfway, but the Blues meet him and force him down. Tackler was Anasta with Ryan. Webb got up groggily as Thurston puts a kick in. Way to the right of Hodgson. It'll go over the dead ball line.
That's bad luck, because the last couple of kicks have been exactly what Queensland didn't do in the first half. We showed you that on the Caltex Vortex try tracker, that their kicking game was short and inaccurate. Say that again three times real quick.
He's good, isn't he?
But this time, a couple of long kicks there from Lockyer and Thurston have shown that they're back on the front foot. Caltex Vortex try tracker. There, I did it again.
Tell you what, if you need mouth to mouth, don't look at me. I thought you'd strangled yourself. 40 metres away from the Blues line. As Hindmarsh takes it out and they take him down.
Oh, Queensland, come on, hold now.
Queensland in a trio of defence there, headed by Scott, the second row forward. Badeiras and Wing combining.
Come forward and go now. Come, Queensland, come on.
Right on the halfway mark. 20 metres in from the eastern touchline to the right foot of Finch. A very purposeful kick. Very accurate kicker of the ball. Bowen using Bell. And Bell will be made to play the ball back on his own 20-metre line. 4 tries in the game, 3 to New South Wales. And Queensland, of course, have got the most recent from Inglis, who just gave a pass to Darren Lockyer, and Lockyer wishes he hadn't. King was there, swatted him like a fly.
That's great defence from the Blues, moving up and in on the outside, cutting off the Queensland attack, keeping it to their own end.
Tate playing the ball from Smith. It's gone away for Price. Just rolling it again up the middle. Nothing flash about Stephen Price, but you can rely on him to get the job done. Johnson falling, got play to within 7 metres of the halfway line. Thurston now gets a kick away, and Hodgson cross to his right, catches it. 15 out from his line, he makes it out beyond the 30-metre line.
Always a sign of good positional play when the fullback can take them on the full. If I was Mal Meninga, I'd kind of played a positional change as King nearly burst through. I think you ought to get Stephen Bell into this game. He's not a winger, he's a centre who plays best when he's in traffic, and you don't get a lot of traffic on the flank. I think maybe Brent Tate goes out there and try and get Steve Bell into this game as Craig Wing out of dummy half, straight through.
And almost straight through, and into open space. Play the ball, Gasnier, then to Finch, back to Wing. Wing stayed alive down the blindside corridor. King goes over the top of them, ball comes loose, and it's dived on there by Tate, and Tate told to get up and play the ball. Or take it out, in fact, at the 10-metre line. Brent Tate playing it for Smith to go to Inglis on the right. But Inglis is met by Kite and Hindmarsh. It's his tackle count now, Hindmarsh.
It's 21, but he had 20 minutes off. He went off on interchange, didn't come back till 10 minutes in the second half.
Helter, hands off now.
Wing and Finch involved mainly in that tackle, forcing Stephen Price to ground on his own 20-metre line. Thurston, again a bad pass. Gee, some of their passing has really jolted any of their aspirations. Played by Berrigan, scooped up one-hander by Thurston, goes outside the 30-metre line, runs across to the right, looking to outnumber the Blues. He plays it on the 40-metre line, and something similar again. Hodges able to reel away, takes it up to halfway. Good work by Hodges. Thurston and Hodges combining there with simple stuff that continues to get them ground. Thurston kicks the ball down inside the 10-metre line, where Hodgson is going to be picked off by Thurston. Thurston making the tackle, 12 metres out, and I think he's hurt himself, Jonathan Thurston. He's still on the ground as Eric Growth comes away, stands in the tackle, gets it onto Hodgson, now onto Gasnier. Gasnier's outside the 20-metre line. He's pulled down by Lockyer. Played for King to go back towards the centre of the ground, and he gets it 35 metres out from the Blues line. Thurston back on his feet, and back in the line, but he's out on the right wing defending. Here's Brent Kite with the ball now to the halfway line.
Come on.
Buderis for Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh. Oh, knock on by Finch. This will give Queensland just that little crack, that little opportunity.
They're just making enough mistakes to invite Queensland back into the contest. They really haven't completed a set of 6 for the last 3 or 4, maybe 1 out of the last 4. Queensland's starting to get some better kicks. New South Wales starting to turn the ball over. Queensland can see a sniff on the scoreboard. If they can be next to score, enter Queensland spirit.
Here's Inglis.
Hell won't let him up now.
8 points in arrears. Friday gets his first touch
let him go.
in Origin football. One of the many Broncos in the team. 7 of them I fancy, 5 Cowboys. Here is Price, second man play, back to Thurston. Lockyer puts it down. Menzies comes up with it for the Blues.
They were too far away on the outside. Price and Thurston had manufactured a real opportunity there, and Queensland outside players were far too slow to react. In the end, Thurston had to run too far. That's beautiful. Now Thurston's looking for someone, had to give it to the first available Lockyer, and that ball wasn't on. They didn't read the play on the outside.
New South Wales now on their own 30-metre line. Buderis shows it and goes himself. He had the opportunity to go to Ryan, but took it to ground, and Thaiday is injured for the Queenslanders. Craig Wing getting away from 1, 2, 3, comes to number 4, and he makes the tackle 40 metres away from the Queensland line. Thaiday is back, or trying to get back into the defensive line. The Blues looking for an opening, and it's a penalty to them.
He was tackled without the ball. Hodgson was backing up. I think it was a Nasta.
Brent Tate tackling without the ball.
And Hodgson was looming up quickly. They're going to take the points.
And we'll take a break while they set the kick. Back in just a moment. Big welcome to our audiences taking this overseas belatedly. Welcome. The UK, New Zealand. Everybody else taking the game, welcome. 14-6. Blues leading Queensland. Wide shot of the Telstra Stadium, the Olympic Stadium, housing a crowd of 72,773 tonight. That's a record crowd for Origin Game 1.
And the decision to take the 2 points here, just a sign that the confidence not as strong as it was in the first half, sorry. The opposition still have to score twice to get in front in this game. So there's not a huge difference between 14-6 and 16-6.
Yep.
Just a steady of the ship for the leaders.
Hodgson straight between the uprights. Second goal of the night for him. It's a 10-point margin. You're watching Origin 1 live on Channel 9. And that's the crowd, 72,773. Repeating, it's a record for Origin Game 1.
It was an interesting decision to kick for goal. I guess just trying to take a little bit of the momentum that Queensland were building. An 8-point lead, no different to a 10-point lead in my book. Probably would have gone for the try, but it does give them a little bit more possession, and it does put Queensland, takes a little bit of the wind out of their sails.
This is Brent Kite playing the ball on the far side of the ground. And he gave it to Growth eventually. The play the ball did, and then it's gone away to Hindmarsh. Buderis sees a chance here. Hodgson, Finch, back it goes for Gaznia. Beats Thurston, turns it in. Finch again, Menzies again. Menzies is inside the 20-metre line. Tremendous attacking raid by the Blues. Played back for Buderis. Pass might have been a bit iffy. Now Finch. This is a Nasta looking to unload. He does. It went from Kite. It went to Ryan. Andrew Ryan is tackled. 7 metres from the line. Tackled by Darren Lockyer. They come back for Mason. Mason stands, offers the ball, but takes it to ground. 5 gone for the Bluesmen. Buderis. over for a Nasta, who decides to go away to the right with a kick. And up they go, Gasnier! Superb! Superb for King to get his second try of the night and his 5th Origin try.
Well, we're going upstairs, but there looks little doubt. Rugby Union have been chasing Mark Gasnier. Maybe some AFL scouts will be keen to have a look after that effort. He's just about taken the ball out of the hands of Brent Tate. There was a good contest between the two. No doubt about the onside. He's 5 metres back. He comes up, grabs it with 2 hands above his head and keeps his beautiful balance and poise to set Matt King up for his second. I'd like to have a look at the put down. We're about to now. He's lost the football.
Yeah.
The effort of Greg Inglis, I think, will be rewarded here. It's a great effort from Greg Inglis, and I think he's forced the mistake.
I've got no doubt he's got no control over that ball. You can't give that as a try. Good work by Greg Inglis. Again, the Blues targeting the inexperience in the wingers out wide with big kicks. But this will be a no try. They've dodged a bullet. We'll be back to the 20 metre for a tap, I would imagine.
And no try. Play the ball.
And no joy for the Blues fans there, or for Matt King. And I've got to say, just looking at the defence, that was a great effort from Greg Inglis. The performance of Darren Lockyer defensively tonight has been absolutely out of this world. He has saved his side on that many occasions. It's just been a superb effort in trying to keep his side in this contest, and he's done so. 15 to go, 10 in arrears.
3 changes left for Murray, 4 changes for Meninga. First time coaches. First time that's happened, I think, since 1999. As Thurston gives it back for Scott.
It's Mark Murray and Wayne Pearce back in those days.
So Smith to Thurston, Thurston to Lockyer. Inside ball for Bowen, but Bowen was read by Ryan. Good tackle, Andrew Ryan. Now, Thurston kicking it straight down the throat of Brett Hodgson, who's had a wonderfully safe game. King on the 30-metre line, pulled down by Tate. Hodgson then wandering off into no man's land.
Don't flop in there.
Thaiday and Scott making the tackle with the help of Berrigan. Badiris is with it. And now it's with Mason, who comes to Smith and Thaiday.
Gee, he's been good. He's been terrific, Willie Mason.
Tahu. Tahu, he's so light. Look at him, like a ballet dancer. Tahu, still going. Love to watch him. Just love to watch him. Badiris to the 30-metre line, shows it, pumps it, goes himself, came off the Maroons, backwards, play on, Price. Jonathan Thurston got himself involved and deflected the ball backwards, thankfully for Queensland. Brent Tate playing with that neck support these days. He obviously has had some scares with that injury, but he must love the game to still be out there. See, there it is. Bell, Stephen Bell, almost to halfway. I know it didn't return a try, but again, that theory of Phil Gould's, those big wingers, those big men out wide, they're potent, aren't they? The high ball. Gasnier up above them like Gazali. To King, who's even bigger. Now, a deflection. Charge down. Growth beaten to the punch by Smith. Good work by the Melbourne hooker.
Still the last tackle. The referee saying that Eric Gray did not play at the football. I think Cameron Smith will get up disagreeing.
Just kicked it into it.
He had no idea, Cameron Smith. There's Growth. It was kicked into his legs. He stays alive. Cameron Smith did well to pick it up, but didn't know it was the last. The Blues go wide.
Finch is tackled by Stagg.
And that's where you expect a call from a teammate to let you know.
Menzies wrestling with Thurston and Sivanasiva jumping on the top. Is David Stagg. Now to Brent Kite. He's very fast for a front rower, this fellow. I guess I didn't realise how quick he was until a couple of runs that he's made tonight, Brent Kite. Now from Badiris, it's away for Anasta, and Anasta from a standing start.
Help forward and go now.
Tries to drive through with those big legs.
Won't get it diving forward.
Then tries to suck a penalty. 25 out, 20 out. Badiris working with Hodgson.
Let him go now.
15 away from the line. 10 metres in from the eastern side. Anasta again with his kick across towards Gasnier again. And Gasnier got a touch. It came down to the Maroons, to Tate. Stagg away from dummy half, pursued by Hindman.
Dominant tackle.
They handled that much better than Maroons there. They've got players behind the ball. They weren't that dismayed if Gasnier took the football, because he could be claimed immediately, as Steve Bell starting to look for the football now. Time becoming an enemy for Queensland. Into the final 10 minutes, they need to score twice.
16-6 the score. 16-6. With the Blues having scored 3 tries. To the Maroons 1. Thurston inviting Brent Kite to come in and make the tackle. He's played the ball. Kite was really an obstruction there, making no attempt to get out of the road. But it's now with Thaiday, and they're on their last tackle, so really they probably should have been given a penalty. As Lockyer puts a little kick over, and a mistake made by the Blues, and Inglis has scored again. Greg Inglis has scored his second Origin try. What a night for the kid from Melbourne. Fantastic effort.
The second try scored by number 2 for Queensland, Greg Inglis. 9 minutes remaining in game 1 of the Harvey North Fuji State Origin Series here in Sydney, and New South Wales Wizard Blues leading 16 points to 10. Queensland with the kick to come.
Oh, well, we said it all earlier. Welcome back to Channel 9's live coverage of Origin 1. It's 16-10, kick to come. But we said it earlier, his night was awful earlier on. Now it's magnificent.
And it's a reward for his perseverance and his confidence. He's made some mistakes, Greg Inglis, but he stayed in the game. He wants to be involved. Darren Lockyer did well to get the ball to him. And as Mark Gasnier did on debut back in 2004, Greg Inglis gets a double in his first game in state colours.
I'm so happy for Greg Inglis. Big kick here for Jonathan Thurston, because it gets them within 4, which means a try and a goal wins it for them.
Well, he knows this kick.
21 out, 1 in. He's put too much on it. No goal for Thurston. It's a 6-point ball game. Andrew, sideline.
And with 8 minutes remaining, Rain, for all New South Wales dominance in this match, the fact of the matter is they haven't scored a try since the 21st minute. Look, the colours return to Ben Icon's cheeks. What about this?
Oh, mate, they're back. The Queenslanders are back. All they got to do is complete this next set, play some smart football, and they're most definitely in this match.
Well, while we're feeling happiness for Greg Inglis, we also should be feeling some sadness for Brett Hodgson, because he has been super secure until that blemish.
It's his only mistake tonight. And there are a lot of players coming through on him, and as we pointed out earlier, there is a bit of moisture on the field out there. There's a big shot there from Marco O'Meara. Cleans up Dallas Johnson.
Is Smith just ferreting around to play the ball before getting the ball away to Berrigan, so they too have left both their dummy halves on the park at the same time. Smith driving the ball down between King and Hodgson. Hodgson watching it like a hawk. He doesn't want another mistake. Not tonight anyway. King has tackled.
See, those big tackles from New South Wales, that's what they wanted 15 minutes ago when they had Queensland on the rack. They didn't do it. They invited Queensland back into the game with mistakes. Here's another one. Here come the Maroons. How often have we seen this?
Eric Grove coming up with the spilt football. Tamana Tahu giving some encouragement. And now it's high fives in this Maroons team. Ball's knocked out by Sam Thaiday.
It's incredible how often history repeats. This Origin contest is amazing.
So here they are again, working with Bowen, the maestro. a try in the last 4 Origins, and 3 of them have been the final try of the night. Sivanasiva is 15 metres away. In fact, Queensland have scored the last try in the last 4 Origins. Berrigan stutters. Hodges tackled by Hindmarsh. No legs, can't run. Now Thurston, 10 metres out. Here's Lockyer. Back they go. It's come away to Tate. Tate is tackled 12 metres out from the line. 4th tackle down from English. Away for Lockyer. Lockyer's pass to ground. It's a chance out wide. Going with the ball, Queensland's hooker, Cameron Smith. He's tackled 5 metres out from the line. Berrigan looks anxiously for Lockyer. Lockyer floats the ball away. Was meant for Friday. Came down to Medeiros.
That was such a bad pass from dummy half. Didn't give Darren Lockyer an opportunity. 6 now again through Marco Mealy. Need to get to the kick. It was a great chance for Queensland, but it broke down on the last.
Yeah, I think we've got a problem here with an alleged kick. I think we've got a problem.
The man at marker.
Yeah. All right. I'll listen to the report.
Medeiros, well out of play, threw a punch. No reason at all.
Why did I do that, mate?
All right, where was that, referee?
I got kicked in the head.
Danny.
He should have got kicked in the head.
Come on, he's told me, so it's a
Why would I throw a punch?
I don't know why you would.
Well, he didn't deny it.
Well, here it is. He'll actually get up and get a kick in the head here from Dallas Johnson. There's the kick, and he gets up and throws one.
So, Queensland come back with the ball. They're 7 metres out in front of the uprights at the northern end. They're trailing by 6 points. Smith, Thurston, back it goes, fires it to Hodges for Bell. Bell scores. Bell has scored. Queensland are back. They're going to the video referee, but look at the jubilation. That is exuding confidence.
Well, he's a try scorer. Whether he's squeezed inside the upright here, we don't know. It's very quiet from the Blues fans over in that corner. They may be the best video referees of all. Here he is. He's a mile inside the line. A mile inside. It's a try.
Now, last year, Jonathan Thurston kicked a field goal to make it 20-all with the side trailing 2019. He has now got a conversion from the sideline. From the very sideline to maybe send us into extra time again in the corresponding match.
I can't work out why they would go to the video referee for that.
Who knows? Who knows? He was 2 foot away a while ago when the bloke had his foot on the line. He's 3 foot away this time and the bloke's a yard inside. It kills the moment. Green light, Queensland back in at 16-14.
Get the gun.
Don't go anywhere.
It's a try. There's the family of Stephen Bell. As we break, we come back for the kick in a moment.
The try scored by number 5, that man on screen for the Queensland side, on blue tonight, Stephen Bell. The New South Wales Prison Blues leading 16-14, Queensland with a kick to go.
Back live on 9 for the kick. That will take us almost certainly to a golden point shootout. From the sideline, John Thurston, 23 metres out, eastern touchline. That's what he's got. There it goes. I like it. I like it. The flag's on there. He's got it. He's got it. Johnny Thurston has kicked the goal. It is 16-all. 3 minutes to go.
The 4th player in the competition for the last season and a half, Jonathan Thurston. Great effort here from Stephen Bell to get outside growth, evades a Nasta, and the assignment, none tougher. How much pressure on that kick? Thurston, just a little finger. I was never in any doubt.
Incredible.
Now, can Queensland go far enough in... Steve Menzies again. Can the Maroons get far enough down the field to take a long-range shot at field goal? Badiris again claiming he's been fouled in back play. Andrew Voss, sideline.
Absolutely. Thaiday got up and planted one on Danny Badiris. They looked at the touch judge, he didn't come in.
Well, there's the kick early in the tackle count. Queensland racing down, led by Justin Hodges. Brett Hodgson throws the dummy, driven sideways.
So here's Growth. 30 metres out from his own line. Play on the eastern side of the ground as they come towards the middle. Play there by Tahu. Now for Finch. This is Menzies. Here's Gasnier out, crossing the halfway line.
Braithen Astor is a long-range field goal specialist. If they get close enough, he'll get in position.
Simpson, 32 metres out from the line, last tackle.
Finch
takes the shot. It's got the height.
Yes!
It's got the legs. I think it's there. Yes, it's there. Brett Finch, the hero. He has kicked the field goal. 17-16 in favour of the Blues.
It's a wonderful game, rugby league. Here's a man, as we said earlier, gets a lot of criticism. Well, none tonight. He has won the game for New South Wales with a long-range attempt. Braithen Astor, his Roosters teammate. The jubilation on his face. We were going to extra time. We were going to stick around longer. But they got within range. A short restart from Queensland. It's well taken by Tamana Tahu. That should be it.
Incredible.
Oh, Phil's hole.
Tahu, 10 in from touch. This is Hindmarsh.
Phil, turn him up now. All the way, Phil's, come on.
45 seconds of the game remaining.
Go on that ball, come on.
O'Mealy, Hindmarsh, picking up the scraps.
Surrender!
Taken down by David Stagg. New South Wales 17.
He's dropped
Queensland
it.
16. He's lost the ball.
They need to set the scrum quickly. Once they set the scrum, the referee can call timeout.
Go down.
Thurston will get another chance, you would think. They've got 21 seconds. That's about 2 hit-ups and have a shot for field goal to get themselves into golden point extra time. 21 seconds to get level.
Well, if they're going for a right kicker field goal, they need to come to the left side of the field. Cameron Smith is the other option. He's a good drop kicker with his left.
Lockyer it is off Thurston.
They need to get one to the centre of the ruck here. Thurston wants Thaiday to come, but he won't arrive. He hasn't arrived.
Great tackle on Thurston. Sivanasiva nowhere to go.
He's got to get up and play it.
Hooter in the background. It is over. Origin 1 is over. Won by the Blues. A sensational second half comeback again by Queensland. 17-16. The final scoreboard. Just an unbelievable second half by this team of newcomers presented by Queensland and by Mal Meninga. They have served notice that they're going to be a major threat in games 2 and 3. A 1-point win to New South Wales. The relief is there on the New South Wales faces. It's depression for Queensland, but they were absolutely magnificent. They really were in the second half. Matthew Johns out on the field now.